Hello, Bill.
Hi, Gino.
How are you? I love your new gallery. What a great location.
It is a super location. Took a while to get it up and running this winter, but it's clean, newly painted, and it's just a shack, but I love it. As you can see, colors are getting bolder. I'm simplifying. I tend to go for good composition, and if it isn't good composition, I tend to get bored with it. And it has to really kind of lead your eye around and adhere to some of the good rules of painting. But I'm primarily a colorist, so I like to use opposites together, like the oranges and the blues, and the pinks and the violets, and the yellows and the violets as well. I love the opposites, you know, and I think that's a proven method to attract and hold the eye. And it just comes naturally.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes naturally, and I work on it until it just feels right.
Why Impressionism?
Well, because the Impressionists were concerned about light, color, atmosphere, vibration, not so much of line and perhaps accurate drawing, but they were more concerned about the emotions that the scene generated, the impression it made on them. And of course, Impressionism was the term coined by a critic after Monet put in his Sunrise Impression painting done from Le Havre.
Mm-hmm.
And they jokingly referred to them as the Impressionists, and little did they know that term would stick. But Impressionism always seems to be the most popular thing in the museums. It may not be in the contemporary world. It's a little more less sellable, perhaps, than realism or photorealism these days. But you know, there are aficionados of every form of painting.
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Right.
a little more I think it's more inviting. I think it's more interesting to look at than just a good reproduction of a scene. But if the lighting is good, that's the key. The light has to really invite you in. Well, here's an example of light, Gino. Here's a scene in Lake Como, and the sun over my shoulder from a place we rented, artist friend of mine and I. And looking at this village, you can see the mirror-like quality on the water. It's almost like mercury at that time of day when the sun is lower and it's in back of you.
I mean, why not pick a beautiful place that you want to be, where you feel inspired, right?
Well,
like
yes, I have to sometimes stop the car and paint whatever is in front of me, or just stop walking and sketch it, try to paint it. This is Renoir's estate with 350-year-old olive trees all convoluted, and that's his studio there, the large window. They just reopened to the public, and I painted 3 pieces on the property. And again, the light is southern French light, very conscious of the vibration in the atmosphere and the quality of reflection and softness of the colors. So this is Provence, and these are poppy fields in a perch village in the Luberon Valley, where I go often.
Yeah.
I love visiting there. There are mountains to the north, mountains to the south, and just a lot of delightful perched villages and farms, and yeah, and poppies in the field. So
it's classical Impressionism.
Yeah, yeah, there it
right?
is. Well, it is, yes.
How would you describe it? That's what I feel when I see it.
It is classical. I try to create both surface and vibration and motion and moment. And so motion and moment and light are real important things in painting for me. That's Monomoy, and that is an actual cottage, one that hasn't been torn down and rebuilt. Property, and yeah, it's a view of the harbor with a Congregational Church steeple, so I was very fortunate to find it. Well, yeah, okay, people come in, it's a light and breezy gallery. They're very impressed with the fact. I think that this is ideal for an artist to have a little shack like this with low ceilings and look like a cottage.
Right.
It's not heated. There's no plumbing, so it really harkens back to, you know, another time and perhaps another place.
Or maybe what Nantucket was.
Yes, exactly. The way Old South Wharf was, the artist colony here years and years ago. I'm one of only about 5, I think, artists who have their own galleries still with their own names here. So.
Now, do you do custom work for clients as well? I mean,
yes, indeed. I do.
Okay.
I do house paintings in watercolor or oil. That is always a consideration for folks.
And if they just want to come in and get you have giclées too, is that right?
Yeah, I have prints. I have a whole selection of prints. These are scenes that are either originals, were either watercolors or oils. Here's one that's very popular. This is my view from Monomoy.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Done years ago. Yeah, that has some good colors in it. So I've strengthened and simplified and clarified the color palette, and that's that. Who knows where it's going? I've got 2 shows a year in France now. I show in Giverny, not far from Monet's garden.
Beautiful. You love being close to the masters.
I've been going there since '85 when they just about opened up, and the Annenbergs from TV Guide had pitched so much money in there to make it beautiful. American Impressionist Museum there. Also, I have a studio in Arles, like I said, very near the new Van Gogh Foundation. So when you go to the Van Gogh Foundation, you knock on my door and take a look at my work.
I'll be looking for you next time I'm there.
Okay.
So what are your hours here?
Our hours here for the summer are basically going to be 10 to 8. And 12 to 5 on Sunday.
All right.
So I've got 2 very good young ladies and one older gal that's been with me for a long time. I intend to use what free time they afford me to go out and paint and do some plein air painting and other things that I like.
Fantastic, Bill. Thanks for showing us your gallery, and we'll see you real soon.
Okay.